Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of the Friday Field Report. There is a field, I promise, it's right there. But you know what? It's Florida, it's hot, it's the beginning of summer. So
Yep.
Vicky and I decided that we were going to do things a little bit cooler this week, right?
We sure did. Yeah. So I love that you have a legitimate pool that you are in. I'm actually in a kiddie pool right now. What they call maybe a redneck pool. I don't know, I can say that because
Love
I
it.
live in the country. Yeah. And then I've got a little one for my dog too, but he didn't come out for this field report. I don't know why.
It might be a little hot, even with the pool. But yeah, so we are here. We are hanging out. This is probably the most aquatic episode you're going to get, everybody. Just saying. So,
I was going to say,
Vicky,
this sounded like. Wait, I was going to say this sounded like the best idea ever until I dropped my phone into the kiddie pool right before go time. But
yeah, you guys, unfortunately, for those of you watching, I know you guys watch just to see what crazy stuff happens. Well, you missed it. Vicky has already dropped her phone into the kiddie pool, and we're off to a good start today. So, speaking of good starts, we've got an awesome lineup this week, don't we, Vicky?
We sure do. Yeah. We've got some ConnectWise rock stars who are going to be joining us today to talk a little bit about next week.
Right, next week. So for those of you who may not know, if you live under a rock, next week is IT Nation Secure, and there is a ton of stuff coming for Secure. Like, this is probably one of our biggest Secures yet, especially with some of the pre-days, right?
Yes.
So.
Well, Secure, IT Nation-wise, next week is it's IT IT Nation's taking over Orlando officially.
Yes.
Next week.
Yes, it is. It's taking over Orlando.
So yeah. Am I going to see you next week?
I might make an appearance for a day, just to record some content for things like our Demystifying AI series, which if you're not watching it, you should, just saying. So.
Well, good. I look forward to seeing that, and I look forward to seeing what special guests you bring in too. So it'll be fun.
It's going to be absolutely fantastic. So I know we've got some special guests. I want to go ahead and bring on the great Arlen Sorensen to talk with us first about a really cool thing called IT Nation Grow. Right? Hey, Arlen, how you doing?
Hey, good morning, Will and Vicky. Good to be with you today.
Glad to have you. So tell us a little bit about Grow and what's going on.
So IT Nation Grow is an event really designed to drive home awareness of the importance of getting ready for a business transition. Everybody's going to transition their business. That's one of the first principles we want everybody to go home with is we all transition either horizontally or vertically, but we're going to transition. And it's important that you get ready so that you can maximize what that transition looks like, whether it's going to be a sale or a family transition or an ESOP to employees. And we've identified over 30 different ways that companies can transition, but a lot of them require a lot of preparation to really do them right. And some require at least a minimum of 5 years of prep legally for certain entity types to be changed. So it's really important, and we just want to beat that drum and to get people focused on what really matters.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's super important. So, who would you say if you're looking to attend IT Nation Grow? What kind of I guess would we say operational maturity level or business phase is it really for?
It's for anybody that has an ownership stake in a business, right?
Yeah.
Because we're all going to transition. So maturity doesn't really play a part other than what the outcome is going to look like. And that's really the key.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's, I think, very important.
Yeah, I was gonna ask Arlen. So, like, what was some of the feedback that you got when you kicked off the initial IT Nation Grow this year? Like, what are you saying about it? Like, what are the things we're taking and bringing into this next iteration of IT Nation Grow?
The takeaway was that it was overwhelming, the amount of information that they were presented. And we just presented, a small piece of what really needs to happen. And so they realized that, this is not something we should wait till 3 months before we want to make a transition to begin to work on. We have to get started today. And I think the other takeaway was, this isn't a do-it-yourself project. You need to have the right resources around you. You need to, put a plan in place with those resources, and it needs to start sooner than later.
Yeah. I remember when you said the 5 years in planning process. I mean, I'm sure there are probably people or MS listening in saying, "Oh my gosh, 5 years out. I mean, I want to exit tomorrow." So what else advice can you give when it comes to setting the right expectations?
Well, and that's really the issue, Vicki. I mean, the most frustrating calls I get come from partners that have been doing this for 25, 30 years or more, and they decide they want to, they're tired, they want to get out. There's a lot of baby boomers that are still running companies, and it becomes a drag. And, they call and say, I can't get what I need to be able to really step away from the business. And, that's not the time to figure that out, is right when you're trying to do it. You need to do that, a minimum of 3 years earlier, so you have time to put the thing on the tracks and get to the value. For most owners, this is the biggest transaction they'll ever do in their entire life. And, they're not prepared for it. They just don't think about it until it's far too late.
That's a great point. And, Arlen, I'm super excited for everybody coming to attend Grow. And we're going to continue doing it, right? This isn't just a one-off.
Yep. So, this will be a quarterly event that we'll have. And, the content will be different at each of those. So it's not like you go once and you're done. It's going to be an ongoing transition of content. And actually in Q4, we're going to be doing a transition tabletop. So we will walk through a deal over 2 days and have all of our SME experts speaking into it. And it'll be a great experience to see just how many things are part of a successful business transition.
Yeah,
awesome.
that is really cool that you're getting people at first-hand experience and maybe mentally preparing and physically preparing their businesses for exit. So that's great. Well,
the other part of it is that it's an emotional thing, right? And that's what messes up a lot of transitions, is that people can't let go. And it's become part of their identity. It's become their purpose in life. And it gets scary when they think about losing that. So there's a lot of facets to this whole transition topic that need to be addressed.
Absolutely. I think that's very important. And IT Nation Grow is really one of those places where you can go to kind of get a lot of that information. So, Arlen, thank you for telling us about that today. But
absolutely. We'll see people in Orlando on Monday.
Yep. All right. We look forward to seeing you, Arlen. Safe travels down to Orlando.
All right.
Yeah. Thanks, Arlen.
Bye-bye.
But, it's cool because that's not the only thing going on pre-IT Nation, is it, Vicki?
Nope, it's not. We have Automation Nation that's also happening. Automation Nation. So I know I dropped my phone in the pool earlier. Hopefully you can hear my audio okay.
You're a little choppy.
Oh boy. Right. Well, I'll let you take this one then.
All right. So yeah, Vicki, I think your phone may still be in pool mode. So yeah, next guest I'm super excited to talk to us a little bit about Automation Nation. We've had our first kickoff for it. It was super awesome. So I want to go ahead and bring on Oz. Oz is our VP over all of our automation, and it's super cool to have you, man. How you doing?
Thanks, Will. Good. I would have got the memo. I would have been poolside too, or joined you.
Well, it's never too late, right?
This afternoon, I'll be there.
So tell us a little bit about what we're doing at Automation Nation this year, man.
Sure. So it's the pre-day to IT Secure, and it's sold out. We had 60. We had 50 seats. We upped it to 60. Sold out there. We've got a wait list backing that up. So if anybody doesn't show up, too bad. We've got replacements for you. So, but it's going to be good. We kicked off last November with being able to automate and create workflow automation for anything across anything ConnectWise. What we're launching and announcing this time on Monday, Monday, is going to be, we can essentially automate anything from anywhere. So third party, it doesn't have to be ConnectWise. It could be third party, and we're going to show you how to do it. We have the ability to automate pretty much anything. So it's fun and powerful stuff. We're going to make it fun. We've got 2 labs set up. We have a guest panel where we have our friends at Marco and MSP Plus OS sharing their journey and where, kind of their advice on how to best automate and where to start and go down this path. So it's going to be exciting.
Hey, that is fantastic, man. I am super excited. I know that all of the people that are sold out and on the wait list are also super excited. So yeah, if you have signed up for Automation Nation, don't miss it, because you will lose your spot to somebody else who's also just as excited as you are, right? So yeah, so Oz, what, for those who may not be as I guess well informed about kind of some of the stuff we're doing on the hyper automation side of things, man, can you just kind of give us a quick overview of some of the stuff that you and your team have been working on leading up to Automation Nation?
Yeah, absolutely. So, the 3 things to sort of keep an eye out in all of our announcements is really around AI Sidekick, RPA workflow or ASIO workflow orchestration, and RPA bots, right? The 3 together sort of complete our hyper automation story where it's at today. And so, as ConnectWise, we've been automating forever, right? So that's not really about showing that we're doing automation. We've been automating. What we're showing with hyper automation is taking this to the whole different level of how do we help our community take operations, take processes that they've been doing on a day-to-day basis, and applying our hyper automation tactics with workflow automation and orchestration, with creating RPA bots to do those tasks for you. All right, so you no longer have to spend hours and hours doing onboarding. Let a bot do it. You don't have to spend time doing the mundane features. It makes your daily jobs as MSPs easier every day. So it's sort of the high level on where hyper automation's at, and then also just being able to work across. Not every company just uses ConnectWise. They've got other products and technologies. Yeah. So why not create automations to be able to link our products to their products and create this automation? So that's kind of where it's at.
And I think that's a very important thing to realize, is that, hey, our ecosystem is so robust. Giving our partners the ability to connect all of those products that they know and love through the ecosystem to all of our products in a much more, deep and intentional fashion is huge. Like, that's so cool. And I know that's something that I've been very excited to see your team working on.
Yeah, it's really cool, and especially with ASIO, it's a platform play. Our MSPs have access to their data, their processes. They know where to start automation. I mean, there's no other automation platform out there that gives our partners in the community access to be able to automate today. And if they don't start automating today, they're going to get left behind. So
yeah, absolutely.
Automation Nation.
Absolutely, and that's the most important thing. If you're not automating today, you're already behind the curve. So make sure you're checking out what we're doing, and even if you are going to secure and you don't have a pass to Automation Nation, make sure you're talking to us there about it. Make sure you're seeing kind of what we're doing. Oz, are you going to be at Secure the whole time, or are you going to be
I will
around?
be there Sunday through Wednesday night, and
awesome.
I will be there.
Do you have any focus groups or workshops you're doing?
Yes, there's a focus group on Wednesday for hyper automation, and then there's an actual session on IT security with automation on Tuesday. So both are there as part of it.
Okay, great. Well, hey, thanks for joining us for your first official ConnectWise live stream today. We know it's been a little bit choppy, no pun intended. I went and did a wardrobe change, and then now I'm in my home office. But
that's impressive, yes. Vicky.
Well, it's not like Taylor Swift impressive, but I got to keep working on that.
I love it. That's very impressive.
So thanks for joining us, Oz. We really appreciate it, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
Bye.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Vicky, welcome back. That was a very impressive wardrobe and scenery change there.
Well, that's what they call showbiz, right?
I love it.
Yeah.
See, look, when there's a Vicky, there is a way. It's not just a Will. So
Oh, I love that. That was good. That was good. So we've got our final guest joining us today, who a lot of our viewers might know as Rafi, who is really helping us lead the charge from a cybersecurity standpoint at ConnectWise. What's up, Rafi? How are you?
Hello. Good morning. Happy Friday, everybody.
Happy Friday. Yeah. So, all right. So, Rafi, I know you and I specifically, we've been talking a lot about IT Nation Secure this week. But tell us a little bit about what you've got going on. What are some of the things that you want our viewers to know about?
Well, I have a hard job here because, there's going to be a couple of keynotes that are happening. And usually at the keynotes, we announce new things. So I can't really give everything away.
Right.
But that's really the interesting part. So if you're joining IT Nation Secure, make sure you're going to be at the keynote. Lots of announcements and talk about new things we're doing. We've been very, very busy in the product side, building new things. There's going to be some really cool stuff coming. We have a guest keynote from Microsoft. I think I can say that.
Yeah, you can say that.
And so as you can probably tell, we've been working with Microsoft for a while. We've been talking about that. We have a number of services they were offering in some of the Microsoft products. And given that there is a keynote on Microsoft, there's probably some announcements that we have as well. So stay tuned for that. I think overall, just for the listeners that don't really know if they should come or what it is about, this is the conference you got to be at if you're in security and in the MSP space. So if those two come together, you want to be here. There's a lot of MSPs that are going to be present, from owners to technicians, that are coming together to talk about what they're doing, to learn about new things that we do, but also in general, what the community does, right? It's not just a ConnectWise show. There's tons of vendors there. We have a big exhibit hall. It's not as big as RSA. If you're a security person, you know what I'm talking about. But there is still lots of vendors there where you can look at what their solutions are. You can interact with them. It's a great community that you can participate there. So you don't
that's always like the number two thing, isn't it? It's one of the top things. People are like, I want to see what the vendors are doing.
Yeah.
Hey, there's always so much going on, right? And as an MSP, you want to stay current on what's going on. And one way is to go on the exhibit floor and learn that. And you will see that ConnectWise actually has a very, very comprehensive security environment or framework or solution set, right? And but you always want to look around what else is there and make sure that you know what's happening and what you need to include in your stacks.
Yeah, actually, I've got something I wanted to mention to that tune. So being part of the ConnectWise ecosystem team, I know we've got a lot of our certified integrators that are going to be joining us as sponsors this year. And a few of the prizes that they're giving away, I thought were kind of unique. So there was one that stuck out to me. It was for SeedPod Cyber. If you are one of the first 10 that books a demo at their booth, they're going to give you an annual National Parks Pass. So I don't know if you're an outside person. Obviously, Will and I are, because we do the field report, even though our Wi-Fi goes out and we drop phones in pools. But we love the outdoors. Rafi, what about you? I mean, that's a pretty cool prize, right?
Oh, I love it. Like I live in Austin, Texas, and we have lots of parks around. And if that actually gets you preferred reservations as well, that would be really cool, because generally when you try to book one of these parks around there, they're often already full if you're not really going in advance.
Wow.
That's really interesting. Huh. I did not know that was a thing. You get turned away from the park. Well, unless you're going
water holes.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like the beaches where there are the parks. I know that happens in Florida a lot. So okay.
Yeah.
You're connecting the dots. There's also another one. Hold on, I have to find this one too.
Is there a Formula One car again, or like a fast car?
Oh. I don't know. Is Threat Locker giving something away? You never know. You never know.
Yeah.
One of the other, hold on, where was it at? Oh, here we go. Okay, it was Sekion. Sekion is giving away a pizza party to your technician. So if you're an MSP and you're there and you sign up for a demo, your team gets a pizza party. That brings me back to the school days, right? When you're in school and you were good, your class was good, and you got an ice cream or pizza party. Yeah. You're never too old for a pizza party.
I love it.
You know,
if it's good pizza.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I mean, so let me ask you guys, like, what's your go-to from a pizza standpoint? What do you like on your toppings?
Oh, toppings.
Rafi, go for it. Yeah, what do you like topping wise, man?
It was really funny. I just ran into an old friend here in Austin, and somehow he started talking about a restaurant. He's like, "Oh, we opened a pizzeria," because he's like, his last name is Baldonici, right? And he's like, Italian.
Yeah.
The same night when I met him, I did an online order. I drove there, picked up 2 big pizzas at 9:00 at night. I had dinner already. I wanted to try it. They were fantastic. There was one that's a sausage and honey.
Ooh. That sounds really good. So you're good. You like kind of like the funky new like pizza stuff. You're not afraid to try new things.
I'll try
from a pizza perspective. Yeah. I don't know. What about anchovies? Would you try those on a pizza?
I have. If they're not too many, that's fine.
Okay.
They're just salty, right? Like.
Yeah, it's kind of gross. Yeah.
Little salt bombs.
Yeah.
There's no pizza at IT Nation Secure though.
There's no pizza.
No anchovies?
Actually, that was one of the other questions I was going to ask you guys. Like from a food perspective, conference food wise, like what's a meal that you remember? I feel like for me at IT Nation Connect last year, the food was amazing. There was this salad that they had. It blew my mind. I feel like it's so easy, right? You've got tomatoes and mozzarella and balsamic vinaigrette, but no, it was delicious. Or maybe I was just starving. I don't know. What about you, Will?
So they did I think it was a braised short rib last year that was outstanding. Like that just sticks in my mind. I'm like, man, I want that again.
Yeah.
Rafi,
Any
what about you?
Food come to mind? Yeah. Anything through the years? RSA, did RSA have good food?
I'm usually not even at the full conference, right? So it's just the exhibit hall, and then you go to all the different vendor events and whatnot, and have sort of buffet, like little bites to eat here and there, or you're invited to some kind of a dinner. So I had some good dinners, which was nice.
Okay, all right, that's fair. So where can folks find you at IT Nation Secure? Where are you going to be located at? Where can they come and say hello and pick your brain on cybersecurity products?
Yeah, I'll be in a lot of meetings. There's a bunch of podcasts and meetings with some of our existing partners, some prospects. But I'll be definitely roaming around the booth as well. And you find all the colleagues there that are very, very knowledgeable about all our products. If you have any questions of anything we do, we're not just talking about security, but we also have people from our BMS and UMM business units there to talk about products and capabilities. It's all round. It's very rounded out in terms of what we have, who we have, and what we talk about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you're going to be doing some podcasts. All right. You'll have to make sure to let us know which ones to tune into. We do have a huge podcast and media. I guess a lot of teams that are coming and descending on Orlando. And so make sure if you're on the floor, look around, because we've got a podcast booth in the middle of the ConnectWise booth. We've got one, I think, near the SOC area. We've got some outside of the Solutions Pavilion. They're going to be everywhere. So you too.
Yeah.
Everywhere. You never know.
Yeah, you never know.
Well, cool. Well, thanks for joining us, Rafi. Is there anything else you wanted to leave our viewers with today? Anything at all about? Obviously, we can't give away too much. You got to keep the mystique going just a little bit longer until Monday evening.
Yeah, I mean it's a short weekend away, right? The other thing I might want to say is that often when people talk about security, it's like, oh my God, that's way too technical for me, right? It's, IT Nation Secure might not be necessarily the conference I should go to. I'm an owner. Well, IT Nation Secure is actually, there's part tech, but there's everything else as well, right? Like you heard Arlen talk earlier and Oz, like from terms of Automation Nation and then Grow. a lot of similar themes you will hear at presentations and breakouts during IT Nation Secure. We're not just talking what's the latest threats and what's the exploits and vulnerabilities you can detect. No, it's also about building and growing your business. And that's, I think, something that I just want to highlight in general from ConnectWise, right? That's who we are. We are working with you as a trusted partner, not just to sell you security products and hope make sure that you're more secure, but you're also helping you build and grow a business, right?
Yeah. That's awesome. That's good feedback. And I mean, it's interesting because it's a cybersecurity conference, but to your point, we're going to have so many different product teams there that are going to be on site to be able to answer other product questions that you have if you're a ConnectWise partner. I know that there's going to be a lot of content about data and data integrity and AI. And I mean, so I think it's going to be a great, just educational session on all fronts. So make sure you come out and join us for that. And I don't know, guys, is there anything else? I mean, I know I'm excited about the Microsoft keynote, and Rafi knows why, but
I mean, I'm always excited about IT Nation events. They're fun. It's a great place to go and get to learn a lot of information, get to meet a lot of people that you may not necessarily get to meet every day. The networking for me is probably one of my favorite parts about any of the IT Nation events, because you get to meet so many people that are in just so many different roles, whether it's, an MSP owner, whether they're a service desk manager, technicians, ecosystem vendors, leadership from other companies. Like, it's so cool. Even, additional communities like, MSP Geek,
MSP Geek. Let's give them a shout out.
Are awesome. And, you get to meet a lot of them whenever you're at any of these conferences, because they're all there.
Yeah. The one thing that I know we're going to be introducing this year for at least the Microsoft keynote, there may be other keynotes where we're introducing this or other sessions, is in the past when we've done Q&A with the audience, in that room with so many people in it, sometimes it can be a little unnerving getting up and picking up the microphone in front of hundreds or thousands of people. So what we've implemented this year that we're trying out is submitting questions through the app or through a QR code that we'll be displaying, so that way you can get your questions in. So for the fireside chat that we're doing with Microsoft on Wednesday morning, folks, don't be shy, put your questions in. I'm going to be moderating that fireside chat discussion with Greg Lally, our GM for IT Nation, and with Erwin Visser, the head of the CSP programs of North America at Microsoft, and Kevin Blake, who is the CEO of TechMD and also up for Microsoft Partner of the Year. So I don't want to just ask topical questions. I want to get to the meat and get some really good content in front of you. So if you have any suggestions, feel free to ping me on the side, and make sure that you engage. I think that's the key that we're all talking about here. Engage, make sure you're asking questions, make sure that you're busting out of your comfort bubble, because you'll leave better for it. So
100%. You're going to get out of IT Nation events what you put into them.
Yep.
So have fun with that.
The challenge coins.
Yes, the challenge coins.
Go ahead, Rafi.
Yeah.
So every year we're giving out challenge coins. If you don't know what they are, just ask at registration. I think there's a limited amount of them. They're a military thing that they do, and there's a whole story around that. And if you pick up one, just have conversation with other people, what it's really about or where it comes from. But also there's a challenge that's embedded in this coin. So when you get one, your journey begins of trying to figure out what the challenge is and what the solution is to the challenge. Last year was pretty fun. It was not very easy, but and I'm not going to brag right now, but it's fun.
I love it. That's awesome. So it's a challenge in a challenge coin.
That's right.
I love it. Challengeception.
Yeah. So make sure you pick one up at the registration desk, I think, when you come in. And folks, thanks for joining us. Part of the technical glitches is part of the Friday Field Report. That's what makes it so interesting and keeps you on your toes. But Rafi, you've been a wonderful host, so thanks for coming in and joining us today. And Will, I'm still loving that you're in the pool and enjoying the Florida sun. on this
I'm
afternoon.
afraid to get out. I might drop my phone in the pool.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't be me.
I'm going to sit right here.
All right. Well, thanks, folks, for tuning in. We really appreciate you. We'll see you again in 2 weeks, where we'll do probably a recap of IT Nation Secure, and we'll have other great content coming your way. So until then,
Absolutely.
stay safe out there, and we'll see you in Orlando next week. Bye.
Have a great one, everybody.